Welcome to Click with JFCS. I'm Drew Gold, the kitchen manager and educator, and today we're going to bake challah together. Challah is a traditional Jewish bread eaten on Shabbat, holidays, special occasions, to be honest, 5 to 7 days a week in my home. And challah actually refers not to the whole bread, but the portion removed as a gift or an offering. And challah is traditionally braided, and I thought the braid would be interesting to think about during this time. So a braid is multiple strands of something woven together, making us stronger and more resilient, and how if we come together during this time, we can really support each other and stay resilient. At JFCS, we bake challah frequently, and one of the ways that we bake challah is through our Baking with a Mission program, where persons living with disabilities are paired with middle school age students, and they bake challah together, and it is either sold in order to raise money for people experiencing food insecurity, or it is donated through the Jewish Federation's Mitzvah Food Pantry. And this provides a really beautiful opportunity to both give back and also do some inclusive intergenerational learning. So in a few minutes, we're going to bake challah together. And I wanted to think about why baking was really important for us at this time, therapeutically, just as a family to come together. So it's a great opportunity to warm your kitchen, warm your home, warm your hearts. This recipe is very forgiving, so it's a great opportunity to bring your kids into the kitchen, to do something together, to create something really beautiful together, and also to just really concentrate on a project, something you're doing as a family together to just soothe yourselves, create beautiful bread that then you can sit down and share. I'm really glad you're joining us today, and thank you. Hi, so let's make some challah dough together. So on our table we have 6 2/3 cup of flour, 1 cup of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 eggs, 2/3 cup of vegetable oil, and 2 cups of water with 4 teaspoons of yeast. And I've used warm but not hot water, and I've added my teaspoons of yeast about 5 minutes ago to give them an opportunity to wake up and start to bubble. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add my sugar and my salt together, and I'm going to mix it, combine it really well, and make a well in the middle. And into that well, I'm going to add my eggs, I'm going to add my oil, and I'm going to add my yeast water. And when I add that, I'm going to make sure to get everything from the bottom into the bowl. And then I'm going to pull the flour from the outside in and get it stirred together really well. So we're going to just mix this dough together, and we're looking for a dough that is sticky but doesn't stick to our hands. So I'm mixing it all together. I'm looking for a dough that is sticky but doesn't stick to our hands. So I'm gonna pull it together, and I'm just making sure that I scoop from the very bottom of the bowl. So I'm getting my hand all the way to the bottom, making sure to incorporate all of the flour. I like using a really big bowl so that I can kind of knead the bread right in my bowl. But if you don't have a big bowl, you can get this just enough so that it's combined, and then you can put it on a clean countertop and knead it together. So this dough looks pretty great. It's sticky, but not too sticky, and I will show you what that means. So now I've kneaded my dough to the point that it is no longer too sticky. I press my hand into it and it doesn't stick to my hand or my glove, but it also, when I press my finger into it, will slowly rise back, and that's how we know our dough is ready to rest. And I'm going to let this dough rest now for about 2 hours at room temperature until it is doubled in size. I'll see you in a little while. Great. So now I've made sure that my dough has doubled in size, And this recipe will make 3 loaves, so I'm going to divide my bread into those 3 loaves. So I've divided my dough into 3, and then each of those into 3 so I can braid them. You might notice I'm wearing gloves. Not necessary, just make sure your hands are good and washed. I might give some of these to neighbors, so I'm taking extra precaution. So we're going to take each of our pieces now and we're going to roll them out. And I find rolling on the tabletop or even kind of squeezing and pulling to be a great way. So I'm going to roll them into 3 equal length pieces. And I have some flour here to put down on my countertop. Don't need much at all, just making sure they don't stick. I'm making sure my countertop is really clean before I'm doing this. All right, and I'm going to take my 3 strands and I'm going to pinch them together. I like to say as hard as a grandma would pinch a grandchild's cheeks. So we're going to give it a good pinch together at the top. And I have my 3 strands. And I'm going to start on the left, and I'm going to go left to center, and I'm going to keep it tight at the top here. And I'm going to go right to center, keeping it at the top, left to center, keeping it tight at the top, right to center, keeping it tight at the top, left to center, right to center, left to center, making that strong, beautiful braid. And when I get to the end, I'm going to braid it as far as I can, and then I'm going to give that same good pinch at the end. And that is our beautiful braided challah. So I'm going to egg wash these with my egg wash. That is 1 egg and 2 tablespoons of water. I'm just going to paint it on. If you don't have a brush, your hands work really well for this. And we're going to now let it rise for another 30 minutes. And after 30 minutes, we're going to pop it in a 350-degree oven and let it bake for about 30 minutes. I'll see you when it's done. So I just wanted to show you all this beautiful finished product and encourage you at this moment in your baking process to stop, slow down, and take a deep breath. Be well.